so the tunnel stretches ahead of you.
Gore does not like this smell, this strange sense in his nose.
It's usually filled with ale and cooking meats and jollyment. But no, this isn't right. This isn't right. Okay, Kit, can I shout in the cave for Slug Bear!
Slug Bear, Slug Bear, Slug Bear. You hear the echoing down the corridors.
I think I instinctively loosen my bastard sword and drop it into one hand. And I grip my torch in the other. Is it light enough in here, or are we...
Well, you do have the flaming torches you made before you came down. You've been keeping them lit, remember? So you each have a flaming torch in your hand, which you can discard if you want to, but at the moment you're using them to navigate.
I've got the torch in my left hand, and I think I'll take the front position if that's all right with you, Neil.
I think that's a good idea. Brother
Peregrine, servant of Kel and Serene Moonbow.
It's Kellenvor and
I don't know how to say it. I was just trying to remember it.
No, I've actually spelt it wrong.
I can't read it, remember, so...
He's a barbarian. He's doing well to remember your name.
I spelt it wrong, sorry.
Gore! I think I whisper and I say, Wizard, what is this you speak of? This slug bow?
Slug Bear. He was a friend of mine. He's often travelled around, but he'd always come back here, into the mines of Bazaar. We would have been welcomed by all of the dwarfs, but something's not right here.
If something's not right, we should pause here, regroup, check we're prepared. Grenick, you and I should cast our spells of protection and make sure we're prepared. And I take out my goodberries that I created the day before and offer them around.
The Apocalypse players present The Shadow over Moonhaven, a long-running campaign for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition by Kit Hillier, with Joseph Chance as Mikey Judd as Gore the Barbarian, Dan Wheeler as Neil Gardiner as Brother Peregrine the Cleric, introducing Lily Maryon as Jojo Smith, as Grenick Lavagrok, the Mage, and with Danann McAleer as Kit Hillier, as your Dungeon Master. Chapter 302, The Mines of Bazaar. When last we left our charismatic heroes, they had come from a skirmish with some goblins. One of the wretches was branded with the rune of the Lich King Bjornby.
And then the sigil in his chest started to burn into him.
So that's why I chopped his head off.
Yeah, to be fair to you, yeah, that did make sense.
Whose realm, it seemed, was expanding beyond the borders of Moonhaven. Grenick Lavagrok, drunk on confidence after successfully binding the Fae of Vesterfeld, bravely stated that they should begin the assault on the Lich's castle at once. However, Brother Peregrine urged caution and suggested they first find and destroy the Lich's phylactery, thereby making it impossible for the Lich to regenerate. After entering a trance-like state for 7 days and 7 nights.
And sometimes you thought he might never come to. You thought maybe he was lost in that strange place beyond the pines, beyond the realms of mortal minds.
Where the hills rise wild.
That's a good line, that is.
Brother Peregrine's eyes flicked open, and he spake forth the words, The Mines of Bazaar.
The Mines of Bazaar. Grenick Lavagrok, you were excited.
I was, yes.
Because this, you know, a dwarven city of old, an old mine, and you knew that coming there with some strange companions, you would not only have the fabled hospitality of the dwarves, roaring fires, malt beer, red meat off the bone.
Good ale, yeah.
But there'd be an exotic element to it as well, bringing with you a half-elf and a barbarian.
A man of Velusier, a man of the plains.
That's it, a man of the plains.
I'm like a panther. I'm a super fighter. I am.
Absolutely.
You can see it in the way I move.
Yeah, he's like a panther. But and also the mines of Bazaar, you know, were the most multicultural dwarf city that had ever been. You know, they welcome people of all races, and they were famed for that. But when you approached the gates, there were no guards. The doors was flung open, and you, especially Jojo, Grenick, were terrified to find that there was no welcoming party. And as you made your way down through the tunnels, you know, occasionally encountering a weir rat, the main place seemed to be deserted, and it was very creepy. And I believe where we left off our last session, you were deep in the mines, having travelled for 2 days through them. You were deep in a tunnel, and you began to smell this gunpowdery smell.
I take out my Goodberries that I created the day before and offer them around to see if anyone needs any hit points regaining.
Gerlush. Have I already healed my hit point from the fight on the plains? Because that was days ago, right? Well, because since then we had that last session, didn't we? So I've lost some of them. So but hang on,
I think Peregrine, yeah, he sorted that out for you.
So you can keep those, can't you, though, Neil?
I can keep them, and I cast them I created them last night, so they last for 24 hours. Why don't you take one now each, just in case we get separated?
Right, I'll put it in my pouch. I only have the one.
Yeah, I put it in my top pocket of my chainmail that I've got.
Top pocket of the chainmail.
Sorry, Jojo, to keep mentioning this. Your mic's doing that breathy thing again. I don't know why.
It's as it bends. Under the pressure of the excitement.
It's because I was drinking my Rio and I knocked it.
Oh, that's a classic 90s beverage.
Oh, yeah. Well, you went for a fish and chips and you got a Rio.
Oh, man, I used to love one of those after going swimming in the Taro Centre.
Yeah, packet of munchies and a Rio. Don't mind if I do.
And then we go get Mackie D's breakfast.
So, yeah, sorry, what were you doing as you made your way down the hall? You were trying to recast you wanted to cast your spells in advance, right?
Well, I'd like to actually, if these guys have got a bad feeling about this, I'd quite like to cast Detect Evil.
Aren't we just in the, but we're just in the corridor, aren't we?
Yeah, you are. Well, it's not even a corridor, it's like a tunnel shaft. But, yeah, there's nothing in front of you.
But this will last. If I cast Detect Evil, it will last for 1 turn plus 5 rounds per level, so that's 25 rounds. So I think that'll keep me. I'll be able to detect evil.
So when the evil appears.
For when the evil appears, as long as I'm concentrating, I just like to do that so I'm prepared.
And what's the AOE, the area of effect on that spell?
Kit, you're sounding really posh.
I know, sorry. I was doing an impression of Uncle Monty.
Listen, we all know he's posh.
Oh, fuck off, I'm not.
Sometimes I think you are, you know.
You're going to go to Wells. We all know that.
Yeah, you're going to go to one of those nice posh schools.
Yeah, you're definitely going to go to Wells.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Are.
So basically, the spell has a path of detection 10 feet wide,
right,
in the direction I'm facing. So it's like a cone, so 10 feet sort of cone in the direction I'm facing at any time.
As long as something evil is within 10 feet of you, in front of you.
All right, Kit, what can we see directly ahead of us?
Just darkness, just the tunnel.
All right, Elf Boy, what can you see directly ahead of us? Because you've got some kind of elfy night vision, haven't you?
Unfortunately not. No, because I'm only half elf.
You got elf ears, though. You might be able to hear something.
Put it this way, I think you might be just like, keep your powder dry, and as soon as we see lights up ahead or something, but there might be traps as well, right? So we've got to search for traps.
I don't have detect traps, unfortunately. I'm just saying it takes me a moment to cast this. If we get into trouble and suddenly we're ambushed by goblins again, I don't want to waste a turn casting Detect Evil when I should be going at them with my mace. That's all. It's only going to take me a
Well,
minute.
I thought that maybe like detect evil was for like when we're in a room and we don't know what the purpose of it is, and like there's a servant of the Lich there and it's disguised
Well, no, it's not really like that. It means,
and it looks like a nice
or like basically what I do is I hold out my amulet.
woman like Neil's mum or something like that.
Shut up. So I hold out my amulet, and I just, as I walk forward, if I'm holding my amulet in front of me and concentrating on detecting evil, I'll know when there's an evil presence. It will make it, forewarned is forearmed. That's all I'm saying.
Let's do it.
So that sounds good.
Well, while he's doing that, what do the other two of you want to do?
Can you do something else, wizardy?
I'm more attack wizard than I am healing, really.
Right. I like it. Throw that staff of yours, go on.
Classic Jojo.
I'm not going to throw my staff again.
Sorry, classic Grenick. Yeah, don't throw your staff.
Maybe while he's doing that, maybe I'll sneak forward like a panther, low to the ground, and I'll check for traps in case there was some sense.
How are you checking?
I'll use the old Velusian method of I'm going to take my grappling hook out and I do my Velusian soft throw for about 20 yards of rope that I slide along the floor. Makes a hell of a noise.
Right, now, so I say, right, so fat lot of good my boots of elven kind have done. We got a dwarf yelling, Slughorn, where are you? And we got a barbarian throwing a grappling hook around
I'm not throwing it, I'm doing the Velusian slide.
echoey stone corridor.
Neil?
Might as well take these fucking boots off.
No.
I don't know why I sacrificed my sister in the woods of Evan Devon.
It's Evan Devon all the time with you. Can you just drop it? We know that it happened. We feel sorry for it.
At that tavern, the Pig's
Oh,
Nose.
yeah, with the creepy dolls.
He's still there to this day.
I should go and take these fucking boots back and say I don't want them. I want the magic axe instead. I had the option of either. I thought the boots would be handy. I didn't realise I'd be galumphing around with 2 heifer lumps.
Oh, we are glumphing about, aren't we, Gorg?
Gore.
Or
All right, I won't throw I think about throwing the grab.
No, it's fine. You've thrown it. It's
No,
fine.
I don't do it now. I don't do it. No, it's fine.
can't go back now.
Oh, well, okay.
You said I can go back when I threw my staff before, so I don't think you
Yeah,
can
that is
go
true.
back.
I did say that.
That's true.
That is fair. Jojo's right. I did say she couldn't go back from throwing her staff into the woods.
And to be fair, you've already shouted, so I don't think it matters to you.
Yeah, you can tell me where you're aiming with your grappling hook.
I'm sliding it along the floor for about 20 yards, as far as I can slide it in the Velusian method, and then I'm just dragging it back.
Right.
And then so I'm casting Detect Evil. So I take out I make sure my weapons are stowed. I take out my amulet, not the amulet of the plains. I still haven't got the ability to use that. I'm not attuned yet. Still haven't got the attunement. But I take out my amulet of Sayanine Moonbow, and I hold out my other hand in front of me, and I say, Sayanine Moonbow, protect us and detect evil for us.
Right.
I still haven't got a very good catchphrase for that spell, so that's all I say at that moment. And then
Don't worry about it, Neil.
It sounds
I mean,
good.
Jojo, I was moved, Jojo. And I was committed, I think.
Well, yeah, all right. You may be moved.
I know, I thought I was watching a film or something.
Jojo's tearing up, I reckon.
all right, fuck off.
Jojo, are you crying?
No, I'm not crying.
You just looked moved. That was all it was. He's like,
You look
listening.
really
It was-
moved. That's what you said.
I was just captured,
Yeah. So, what are you doing while these guys cast their spells and throw their grappling hooks?
What, me?
Yeah, you.
Right, so I've got my staff, and I don't know, I feel like I want to,
You can just follow down the tunnel. You don't have to do anything specific.
I
But,
want to have a little look around.
right, are you looking for anything specific?
But I'm quite sentimental because I've been here, I'm supposed to see all my friends here. That's why I looked tearful.
Yeah.
Sort of running my hands along the cave. Do I find anything?
Yeah, feeling the runes, the dwarven
Yeah.
runes that have been carved over the years.
Get a bit choked up, you see?
Yeah.
And sort of sobbing.
And do you know what? The worst thing for you is there's no bodies. This place should be a bustling marketplace. Should be a bustling dwarven city. You've never been here, but you've heard tale. There's nothing here. There's no bodies. It's like everyone just packed up and left. It's like the Marie Celeste. So, what do you want to do? Just try and see if you can find any...
Yeah, I've got my torch. I'm just gonna follow on down the tunnel, I think.
Your torch? Oh yeah. Wait, the flaming torches. I forgot. Yeah, I was thinking about a mag light. My uncle just got a new one. Anyway, yeah. So you're shining it after. You're lucky. You're all lucky in a sense because as Peregrine finishes his spell, and as Gore's grappling hook is dragged slowly back along the floor. It's a heavy one, isn't it?
It's at least 2 pounds. So yeah, it's not.
Yeah. But that's all it takes. As you flash the torch down the tunnel, you wouldn't have noticed this if you hadn't held your torch out. A pressure plate as the grappling hook is dragged back along the floor. Just for a second, these spikes.
Oh no! Am I dead?
They open and close in the tunnel like that. No, this is ahead of you, but it's the pressure.
The grappling hook was
where the grappling hook was. There's like a plate that's been built onto the floor, and it happens so briefly.
Oh, mate, Mikey, I'm sorry I told you not to do that.
Listen, it was loud,
Genius.
but after our experience back in Moonhaven, I thought, sod that. Don't want to do that again. Let's be cautious.
Indiana Jones type stuff.
Yeah,
Damn right.
Whatever's down there, it belongs in a museum. That's what I'm saying.
you're not wrong. So that's what you see. And Neil, you finish your casting. Peregrine, sorry, you finish your casting, and you all see this moment where the spikes just in and out, and they're down the tunnel you're following.
Wow. And we can see where the pressure plate is, so we can see like what to avoid.
Yeah, it happened very quickly. It was like as it was dragged over it.
I reckon
Right.
your people, as they were leaving, they had to try and do the best they could to stop other people coming in, didn't they?
They put booby traps down.
Well, you are you're master engineering types, aren't you?
You know where that pressure plate is. You can't really see it. It's obviously hidden very well. But the dwarves, they were very, as you know so well. I mean, what's your backstory again, Grenick? Where did you come from?
Yeah, so Grenick Lavagrok came from the...
The end to the mystery at last.
Yeah.
Finally, we all get to know.
How many months has this been going on? Don't know.
Did I not tell you this before? Okay.
No, she's not shared it.
I don't even know if you're a man or a woman. I can't tell.
They've all got beards, haven't they?
Yeah, but
That's
I
the
am a
truth of
man,
it.
though.
So you say.
Well, that's what you tell me, but you've got nice eyes. You've got nice eyes for a man. That's all I'm saying.
I got green eyes.
I'm a barbarian. I don't really know what's what.
Well, I've got green eyes and red hair, and I come from the caverns of Skalor.
Skalor.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard that?
That explains it.
That explains it. That's good. That's good, Neil.
No, in the lava fields. That's why I call lava.
Of course, because you're a lava grok. Oh, of course, right.
Yeah. But the Lava Grokes were a famous family, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. They made stuff out of the lava, but I didn't want to do that.
To groke lava is to redirect lava. You groke it. You form it into something else.
Yeah, it's like mining.
Do you actually all know this? Because
No, well, forgive me if I'm wrong, Jojo. I mean Grenick. But the Lava Grokes, you were their next son, and you were expected to take over the business. Formulating this lava, using it to forge weapons, using it to build bridges, to direct it into dams. You always, as a child, felt this sense of awe at the lava, and you decided to go against your parents' wishes and travel to become a pyromancer, to become a mage that uses the fire for something else.
In the mountains of Saberhagen, that's where I went, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I wanted to harness the power of the lava. So that's why it's called Lava Grok.
Yeah.
This is what me and Kit came up with in detention the other day.
Yeah, we were just chatting after she was like scrolling on the table. It was mental.
Sweet. Well, you got to make use of it somehow, haven't you?
is that the one that I didn't go to?
Yeah,
No, you
the
went
one
there.
that you weren't at. We all missed you, mate. We were like, "Where's Mikey?"
I'm going to be in so much trouble for that.
Miss Mulberry fell asleep. It was fine. She didn't notice.
Yeah, we covered for you, man.
Well, good. Thanks.
No worries.
But yeah, that's my origin. The Lava Grokes.
So anyway, I feel like, we should. I should advance slowly with my, fleet-footed elf walk We've seen where one pressure plate is. There might be more, but I suppose that's the obvious one. We can avoid that one as we advance down the corridor.
Yeah, I think if I'm right to say, Gore, you probably because you pulled it over the pressure plate and it's sort of shing shing, but you probably stop pulling it after that, so you'll know it's just past the hook.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'll put it the rest of the way, but I'm assuming there's nothing else. That is the one, right? And a thing like that would take some building. There aren't any others, are there?
It's also fair to say that if any of you are edging closer, you can see bones around the side. So it's obviously got some animals or some things on the way in. It's obviously doing its job, as it were.
And is it the sort of thing that you could jump over?
Well, it's hard to tell, because if you're getting close enough to lurk, you can't really see the outlines.
Right.
Well, you could do me
I tell you what, it's a bit of a stretch, but I've got snares. So
yeah.
Might I be able to get an insight through if I use my
advanced snare? What are they? The sort of snares you might have been using? I guess it is a snare in a sense.
It's my barbarian tribe proficiency is that because we're plains folk, so one of the things that we do is we snare trap rabbits, jackrabbits, and I don't know, wild pig and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm thinking is that
I guess you'd have a sense of how wide the pressure plate would need to be. Yeah.
So that's a wisdom check.
Yeah, go for it.
I think from what you've told me, which isn't great, but all right. Remind me how that works. Do I roll against wisdom? I think it is, isn't it? I think it's a
like roll
under your.
Like the better your statistic is, it's like you're rolling out of a 20, and all right. It's like a 50-50 almost, because I've got a wisdom 11 on this. So snares, I've done it. It's a 9. So even if there are any minuses, like it is dark, so I could see that you might give me a minus, but I do have. We've all got torches, so anyway. Point is, there we go. Do I get any insights on that one? Dungeon football manager.
So you do you can see the outline, and it's hidden in the sort of the crags of the rock and the mud on the floor, but you can see the sort of square that takes up most of the tunnel with that success. And the likelihood is that's the.
You know what I probably do? I probably, from my little snare kit that I have in my pouch, I take out a little bit of sand. Let's take a little bit of sand and I blow it on the thing, and it starts to line out to the others, and I just point to it as if we could be overheard at any time, which obviously we wouldn't be, but like I still think that we're in like some kind of plains scenario, because I never leave that in my mind.
Yeah, of course. And in fact, you're quite ill at ease in the tunnels.
Well, I've been 2 days, right? So I'm not happy about it. So I think I try and do an heroic leap forward, move us all forward maneuver. So I want to do a dramatic dive over a forward roll onto the other side.
Great. So
dexterity, or something like that?
Yeah, dex. It's not that far. It's like a couple of feet. So I reckon dex is to make sure you sort of come up at the end and you don't stagger.
Right, like a kung fu pose or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like after
show
like
off.
a gymnastics floor routine.
Enough of your personal interests, Neil.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know you're into gymnastics now.
Taking a piss.
Dexterity 16. Yeah. Piss worked. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, Neil. I mean, Peregrine, because Pippy Pip, the priesty Pip, 14. 14 on a 16. I've done it.
You smash it, and you come up, you don't stagger at all. You come up in like lotus position.
I probably did have to put my bastard sword away, but I take the bastard sword out.
And then fling it up to the side.
Right.
To join the
straight through my own head.
Yeah. And the other two of you turn around. You finish your spell, of course, Peregrine. And Grenick, you're distracted by this noise from the sort of the weird sort of feelings you were having from feeling, your familial letters written across the wall. You both look up and see this dive as gore. As gore.
I have that effect with a lot of people.
Yeah. It's his smell. He's been on the plains a long time.
Yeah, I probably
and now
do
we're in
stink.
close
That's
quarters.
true. All right. Yeah.
It's all that sweat. But it's
Oh,
like
man.
when you come back from football practice and you haven't fucking showered yet, mate.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think
Yeah,
you
you
can say
do.
much, Kit. You all stink.
Oh, come on, mate.
Yeah, you do.
Shut
What are you
up.
talking about? I'm wearing Lynx
That's
Java.
the worst.
I'm wearing voodoo.
Why don't you just have a little bit of impulse?
Well, it will smell like a girl. Anyway, yeah, so you see this square laid out on the floor in sand, and you see him standing there all triumphant. So you know where to squeeze past. And you can see as you get closer, the holes in the wall where the sort of javelin-like spikes pushed out.
As we go past and we avoid the square, may I have a quick look at the bones to see what sort of creature, whether it's animals or what?
Yeah. Do you want to do that by the pressure plate, or do you want to sort of kick some forward to sort of have a look once you're over the other side?
I certainly want to do it like far enough away from the pressure plate.
That's what I was hoping,
Not
yeah. Right, so yeah, you managed to do that. You kick a couple of bits across and you're all there together on the other side. And yeah, if you want to give me like a perception or wisdom or intelligence, I suppose, like you can sell me whatever it is you're trying to do.
Well, just go wisdom because I've got so I've got a +3 in my for medicine. Can I use that on my wisdom? Can I use my medicine to check these bones?
Yeah.
Was that intelligence? Was that better for you? No. Wisdom.
Wisdom's better.
I gave you the option of either up front, so I'd say like we'll stick with.
I'm gonna go wisdom with my bonus, which is a +3 for so that's just a pass with my bonus from my medicine. So yeah.
Great. So the bones you've kicked across, a couple of them just look like rib bones, like sort of pelvic fragments. They could be from like warthogs or wild boars or were rats. There is a fragment of what you think must be a human skull, but that's all you can tell.
Right, but not a full
Full skull, like a shattered sort of side. You can see the eye socket and the cheek, but
Oh, all right.
It's not a dwarf skull, is it?
do you want to have a look?
Well, if I've had a look and I think it's a human skull, I might just say, there's a human skull down here.
It ain't dwarfish, from what you can tell.
Not elvish.
Ain't dwarfish or elvish, it's human.
Harder to tell, I suppose, with Elvish. It was only a narrow success, but it's certainly not dwarfish.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
it seems human.
The ears.
Yeah, that's very true.
Ear bones. It's got a big ear bones.
Big ear bones, all cartilage. But
Great bone structure.
I guess the one thing you can tell is a myriad of creatures have been snared by that trap.
Fine. All right.
It seems to have been very successful.
Well, I for one, carry on down the corridor with my amulet held in front of me, detecting evil, or seeing whether there's an evil.
Are you following?
Yes. No, I'll fall in
Yeah,
behind him because he's detecting evil. I mean, again, nothing up ahead.
You gradually see the tunnel opening out into a huge cavern.
Right. By Crom, I say.
What do you see, Jojo?
I see. It takes me back to my caverns of Sklor.
Yeah.
But there's
Of course it does.
something different about it.
Well, there's something different is
It's
this is abandoned. And as all three of you, with the light of that, you've all got torches, but as you open out into the space, you see this huge cavern above you. And it's a huge space. It must be about 500 yards across. Around, it seems like quite circular. And there are these sort of twists of black crystal, huge black crystals bursting through the floor. And some of them seem to, in the glinting of the light, they seem to take on the appearance of faces.
Ugh.
But as soon as you move the torches, the faces are gone, and you're there in the entrance to this thing, and there's something like a web, like a crisscrossing pattern over the other side, rising up tall above you. It seems cut off by a single line. And there you are, at the entrance to this huge space.
Is this the Lich's work? Wizard? Cleric?
It looks like it.
Yeah, it does, Jojo. It does, Grenick. But I know you, Peregrine, you were drawn to this place from your meditations. And I will say to you that you get the sense that this is where the Lich's phylactery is. And you all know that the phylactery, it's like a Horcrux, although those books haven't come out yet with those sentiments in it. So, but it's exactly like that.
But it's exactly like that. When she finally writes them, it's exactly that.
She got it from you.
It'll be exactly like that. Almost as if she'd borrowed all her ideas from other fantasy writers.
What was that? But Horcrux. Horcrux, that's a good name, though, isn't it?
Good name.
Yeah, that's better than phylactery.
Yeah, write that down.
I mean, if you are going to rebrand,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
I have a question. I can't remember. When I went into my trance-like state and communed with Sayani Moonbow and Kellenvor, which was why it took me so long, of course, to speak to both of my deities, which is challenging and it was dangerous. Was I given any indication of what sort of object the phylactery might have been back when I went into my trance before we came here?
Well, I can tell you exactly what you saw in your visions.
Yeah.
And it was moving
excellent.
through the earth.
I can't remember.
Most of it was through veins of silt and veins of like iron oxide and things like that. But you did, after a short time, you saw a small rectangular metal shape, a hollow shape, almost like a crib or a cot. And inside it was a tiny, almost like, what would you call it? A glass-blown lamp. Some sort of glass-blown thing. And it was nestled in amongst iron filings, almost as if they were being treated as the what's the word? The wood shavings of something that you would nestle an egg on. But iron filings holding up this sort of glass-blown egg-shaped thing, slightly twisted at one end, and with a slight glow to it, a slight green glow. And it was at that point that you woke up, as you got closer in, and it's been that thought that's been drawing you down to this place, that you were so sure that it was this mine, that there was something in. And finally, in this moment, as you are in this big room, that feeling almost leaves you. And although you were certain it must be this room you were heading to, suddenly all the sense of navigation has left, and you're just left with this huge cavern. You don't know where you're headed to within it.
Well, if it's all right, guys, I don't know. I assume that nothing has triggered my sort of detect evil spell. Well, I'd like to, maybe. Well, you tell me. This is a question maybe for you two. I could also cast Locate Object, which will give us a direction in which the phylactery is.
Now, for Locate Object, you need to know exactly what the object is, or just have a sense of it.
Well, I need to. That's why I asked you whether I got a good look at it. Basically, it says helps locate a known or familiar object. So, attempting to find a specific item, such as a kingdom's crown, requires an accurate mental image. So basically, if the image is not close enough to the actual item, the spell does not work. So basically, it depends how good my image was. If it was accurate, then the spell might succeed.
Well, I think known might be enough. It's known to you, very accurate. That's what's drawn you here anyway. So I think.
Right.
Give it a go.
So basically, I'm asking. I guess I'm asking. Maybe I should ask in character. I say, Grenick, Gore. I sense no evil in this place. I may attempt locate object. but it will require me to cease my... cease the spell that allows me to detect evil. What do you think?
Just quickly, how far are we away from this webbed structure that you were talking about ahead?
You are about 100 yards, and it's like the ground in front of you is going down, but the roof is going up. It looks like a huge cavern opening, and you can just see this mesh sort of
I mean, that doesn't
image.
look... It doesn't sound good. It doesn't look good. It's not dwarven, is it? I think that's what I turn to...
It's hard to tell at this point. It might be, but...
I nod to Peregrine, and then I turn to Grenick, and I say, that's not dwarven, is it?
And Grenick goes, I have never seen anything like that before. It looks like a spider web rather than a dwarven web. I think me and Gore can cover you, Peregrine, if you need to cast your spell.
I say that we run towards it together, across the open plain.
I roar as well. I go, roar!
Then when we are close, then you can cast your spell, wise Peregrine. But now is the time for action.
This is so epic.
All right, so you think we should all run towards it before I cast my spell?
I think it's quite cool, don't you? That we run down, we run across to it like we're in a movie, and then...
Yeah, I mean, I've got my...
And then you do your thing, both of you?
Yeah, let's do it.
What have you got? What are you going to say? Sorry.
I've got my hammer, that's what I'm saying. Just in case anyone comes out.
Could always throw that, it comes back.
That's right, like Thor. Like Thor's hammer.
So what are you going to do, Neil, while these guys...
Is it mad, Peregrine? You don't like
It feels this is too easy, I say. It feels like this is too easy to just locate it. But that's what we've come here to find.
Nothing is easy in the eyes of the gods, and I start running.
Well, in that case, I immediately start trying to locate the object.
Right.
I thought we were going to get closer.
Oh, sorry, you want us all to run. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you meant you two would run, cause a distraction, and I would detect
Or that.
it. No, fine, let's run towards it.
Oh, I see.
I was like, let's run down there.
Yeah, we're running.
You cast it so that and then they'll come towards us, the giant spiders or whatever the hell they are.
Oh, well, you might expect. Gore and Jojo, you run towards it, and you run past some of these crystalline structures, these huge sort of crooked black crystals sticking out of the ground that almost look like they have faces at almost every angle as you pass, and then
Fiendish magics.
as soon as you look directly at them, there aren't. It's almost like a sculpture carved by someone who doesn't know what a human face is.
Oh.
But is trying to attempt it.
Grenick Lavagroke hears me muttering and cursing in my own tongue.
Oh, can I understand you?
And as you get slightly further past, you're still holding your torches, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Torch in one hand, hammer in the
You
other.
see, just in front of you, the ground quickly drops away into a ravine. And out of that ravine comes this crisscross pattern of structures like props. And you look up, if you do look up, I assume you do, and you see that the straight line above is a minecart track. It's like the mine carts that they'd use to carry the whatever valuables they'd find out of the mine.
Wait. Right, and Peregrine, are you not with us?
No, I'm running along just behind you.
Right, okay, so you see that as well, yeah?
I think I gesture to you, Grenick, to take cover.
Right.
And I've got my torch and my bastard sword, and I'll tuck my shoulder against the least hostile-looking bit of scenery that I can get covering behind.
It's quite plain down to the side, but there's all these outcrops of black crystal, so you can definitely cover behind one of them.
Don't let one of those touch you.
That's pretty much all there is.
I don't trust them. Maybe I'll just slow to a halt near one of them, in the shadow of them.
Yeah.
Looking at this
Looking up to the track of this minecart.
I'll point my torch to it and I'll say, "What do you make of this?"
It looks like fun.
is the right answer.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Jojo. Would be a laugh.
It would be a laugh, though, wouldn't it?
Unland.
Like Nemesis
Right.
at Alton Towers.
It'd be a right laugh.
Yeah.
But, what?
Is Nemesis that new one?
Yeah, they've just done it. Anyway, you're looking up at this thing, and if you're all looking up at this thing, you all get the sense that, like, however, even the slightest move in your lantern tends to throw light on these black crystals that makes them look like faces about to talk to you. And then as soon as the light shifts away, they just look like sheer bits of crystal again. But you're there, and there's a ravine before you. You don't know how deep, and there's these struts coming out holding this this minecart track above you, and all these black crystal structures around and behind you. What would you like to do?
Well, I want to get in that cart, but I don't know if we should.
Well, to be clear, there isn't a cart
Oh, there's not.
that you can see. There's a track, and it's held up, and it's like about 50 feet above you. You'd have to climb up the struts to like get to.
I'd like to cast Locate Object. That's what we're here to find, right? Like you say, it feels too easy.
Yeah, so it probably is.
Are we close enough now, do you think?
Well, it could be anywhere in the mines, right? This is the room.
But, like, there's this structure ahead, isn't there? There's this sort of webbed structure, didn't you say?
So you feel like it might be behind the web structure?
I don't know, that makes me think.
I only saw this room in my vision. That's the thing. In my trance, I saw this room.
Right.
If it's behind the web, well, put it this way: if it's not behind the web, it'd be useful to know that, so we don't waste our time getting through the web.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I'm scared of the web.
Me too. But if it is behind the web, at least
Then we've got to go through it, yeah.
it's good to know if that's where it is.
I see your logic.
So I put away my amulet, and I draw out my lodestone, and I say similar words to the ones I said before, because again I haven't really got the catchphrase for this one either. But basically, I say, I forgot her name. Sayanine Moonbow, guide us with your elven wisdom. Show us the phylactery of the Lich King, who torments the lands of Moonhaven. And I cast the sign of Moonbow, which is the shape of a moon, and then a cloud floating across it. And then I hold out the lodestone, and I stand and I rotate 360 degrees until I feel the pull of the lodestone towards the phylactery.
Great.
It's like another language when you speak.
You know, I love it. It's like poetry.
That was good, wasn't it?
So as you're doing this, Jojo, what are you doing? You've come to a stop. There's a sort of ravine before you, and these struts leading up to a minecart, which look like some sort of crisscrossing spider web, but they're probably just the struts of the structure that's keeping the mine track in place, you reckon. But what are you doing?
Right. Well, I mean, it depends if what we're looking for is in the web, because I've got a great spell that could blow up that web, burn it.
Nice.
But I don't know yet, so I feel like I'm still just keeping cautious, maybe keeping a bit out the way of Peregrine's spell, keeping a lookout. So I've gone back to where we came down. I'm having a little scout about.
You readying yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Gore, what are you doing while this is happening?
Yeah, I think I likewise. I think I'm probably just watching. I mean, it looks like Greenwich can look after themselves, so I'm gonna focus on protecting Peregrine for this bit. So I'll watch to see if anything's coming towards us from the web. I don't like these webs, and I don't like these crystal faces, so I might just keep casting an eye back to them as well.
Great. So, just to check, Neil, Peregrine, sorry.
That's right.
In what form would your success take? Would it just be you who knows?
I'll just feel a pull on the lodestone. It won't make itself aware to me. I'll just know it's there, basically. But only if I've got the right mental image. And and I should just tell you, I don't know whether you know, but the spell will be blocked by lead. So if the box in which it's in is made of lead, it won't work anyway.
I see. Good to know. I love it. I love the details. That's what we're here for.
That is absolutely mad.
What, that I volunteered that information?
No, that is part of what I don't understand this game. I really enjoy playing with you all. I think you're all crazy. You've all used words that I've never ever heard before.
Yeah.
There was one of you said something about Mahanuganagadun. I've been meaning to ask what that meant, and I don't even know what the word is anymore. Yeah, it's like Mabinogion. I don't know.
Mabinogion.
I'm laughing so hard. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's part of the fun.
Well, listen, right. The spell doesn't say exactly how it shows me, so I'm just gonna tell you what I think in my belief system that Peregrine has.
I see.
It will reveal itself by the lodestone being pulled towards it, because the lodestone I've imbued with the power of saying Moonbow,
right?
And that will pull me towards it. But obviously,
you're such a believer, Neil. You're such a believer.
Right, fucking shut up.
Sorry.
Did you succeed on your spell casting?
Did I succeed on my spell casting? Now, does a priest have to actually roll for a spell? I don't think so.
Or can they just succeed automatically?
I think so. Is that not right? I succeed automatically, don't I? Because you can get basically it's used my wisdom score.
Neil, calm down, don't have a panic attack.
No, hang on, let me tell you. So if I've got a low wisdom score, there's a percentage chance of failing.
Don't make me get out the brown paper bag again.
Priest spells. Right, okay, look.
Neil's mum.
No, get his mum down here.
Priest spell selection, spheres of influence.
He's having a panic attack again.
Priests must pray to obtain spells. Well, I do that every day, obviously.
Of course.
Priests finally casting spells. To cast a spell, character first must have the spell memorized. Check. The spell caster must be able to speak. Check. Must have both arms free. Check. Cast target. Check. Once the casting must begin, the character must stand still. Check. During the round, caster cannot move to dodge attacks. No, it's fine. I don't need to roll for it.
Okay, great. I was mainly looking for how it is revealed to you, but I guess I'll decide that myself.
Well, I just keep telling you. I keep telling you how it's revealed
Your
to me.
lodestone.
He's got the necklace.
Yeah, all right, Neil.
Tugs.
Piss off, mate.
Gives me a tug. Gives me a little tug.
Yeah. I'll give you a little tug in a minute.
I hope so.
No, not like that.
Not like that.
Should I leave you guys alone?
We could leave you in here. That's fine.
No, that's fine. Right, so at the moment that your lodestone, or whatever you were calling it, starts to, you feel that the cords start to drag on your neck, and you realise it's floating up in front of your eyes, like that, and it's almost about to slip off the back of your head if you're not careful, and it's pointing upwards towards the top of this web.
That was worth it.
At that exact moment, Gore, you hear in your head, as if you're talking to yourself, which you do sometimes.
Of course.
You hear. You hear this terrifying noise, this weird, strange, arcane language being spoken in your head, and you get this sense of hatred and oppression and everything like that. And you feel like, in your barbarian sense, you feel like, I want to fight this, but you can't tell where it's coming from specifically, except your own head. So unless you were to cut off your own head, how would you fight it? And you're there in the middle of the two of them, and all you can hear is this.
Even Gore knows not to strike his own head off.
I'm glad.
So I think I raise my torch up towards where the lodestone is pointing. And I raise my sword in its so that the blade is flat. The way that I did back in that glade, not the glade, the trees with the goblin before I sliced his kneecaps.
The plains.
Back on the plains, right? But now it's pointed at just below that, sort of as if I'm imagining where this voice is, and then I start to track round so the other two can see me as if I'm looking for something. And I say, a voice calls to me from the spirit world. Do you sense evil? But obviously that's unfortunate because you did cast that spell and you probably can't sense evil anymore. But
no, I stopped concentrating on the evil and I was concentrating on the phylactery.
Yeah, now you're concentrating on... You're doing the right thing.
But my impression has been that this phylactery will be defended.
Jojo and Neil, all you hear is... You see Gore suddenly start spinning around and you hear this. Do you sense evil? There's a voice talking to me. And, how do you react to that?
I go up to him and I slap him. And I go, Gore, wake up, get out of it.
I grab the dwarf's hand.
Oh, he's grabbed me.
Dropping my torch. I grab the dwarf's hand and say, if you strike me, you mean to make battle with me.
Have I got to battle him now, Kit?
Well, no, I'm giving you the option. I'm just saying, I'm saying it's like that's my people's way, and I say, do you not hear it?
I don't know what you mean. I can't hear anything.
This place is cursed. We must make haste. Can I start climbing this web?
Yeah, so basically, the ground drops away and there's about a 5-foot drop, and then the web, the sort of structure comes out of the drop.
Right, nice. So I'd have to jump to it, would I?
You'd have to jump to it. Unless you looked for another way around, but yeah.
It's like gladiators.
Just like gladiators. Yeah. Wolf.
I reckon your character's a lot like Wolf.
Yeah.
Not quite as wrinkly, right? I mean, like... Well, actually, he's probably quite... I mean, he is... What, he's... Blimey, he's over 30, so he's really old. He's ancient.
Well, exactly, and he's been out in the sun with very few clothes on, so that, you know, the sun,
yeah, he's very tanned.
The wind probably weathered his skin. He probably does look a lot like Wolf, to be honest, mate.
But I think I've got Greinik's hand, and I grip it really hard for a second, and then I just tenderly take the hand for a moment, and I drop it down and I say, I must climb and claim that phylactery for your people as well as mine.
And even as you say that, you hear the voices in your head responding to you in a language you can't understand.
Oh no, not again.
It's a really disturbing sound.
I feel like this game should have some kind of mechanic for, like, going mad.
I know, like psychology check or sanity check.
Yeah, like or sanity or something like that.
It's like you've stayed on the night bus too long and you've ended up in Wells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We've all done it. Yeah. And it is horrifying.
And everyone's...
with all the
you can hear all the people on the night bus sort of like, chat.
Where everyone sounds like that, yeah. Or even worse, just stay away from Brian Down, right?
Right, stay away from Brian Down.
Yeah. I'm not wrong.
That's it.
But that's what you hear as you sort of say, I'm about to climb up the thing. You hear these voices, and although you don't understand the language, they fill you with a sense of dread and foreboding. And you don't understand how they're coming out of your own head. Because
well, maybe, I mean, like, I'm being the barbarian, I think this is maybe enough. I want to run over and follow my normal instincts of leaping, but I think I suddenly lose confidence. And the bastard sword goes heavy in my hand and drags on the ground, and I grab hold of Greinik and I say, this place is cursed. I cannot go on. What is the path? What is the way? So I think maybe I'm in chaos there.
And I say, this is the way.
Sweet. I like it.
That's like Greinik's catchphrase. I love it.
Yeah. But what do you do?
God, I don't know. I want to stop him climbing up that web.
Well, I've done that. No, I stopped. Yeah, I think you steadied me from perhaps leaving the cavern, because I think I was thinking, this is too much. But obviously I can hear these whispering voices and you can't, so I look terrified.
Okay, I'm sort of a bit freaked out.
So you've heard him say he's hearing these voices. He's mentioned, I can hear.
I still hear them. Can you not hear that?
No, I keep forgetting to do Greinik's voice. No, I can't hear them, Gore.
By Crom.
Jojo, you're so funny.
All right, Kit.
By Crom,
Jojo, you're so good at Greenwich's voice. I love it when you do Greenwich's voice.
Yeah,
It's so cool. It's wicked. It's so skill.
It's fucking sick.
I mean, it's all right. What can I say? By Crom, I say. And what do you do, Neil? Brother Peregrine.
Well, so I can't... So just to check, right? You can hear something. We can't hear it, right?
But what happened? Did you touch something and that made you hear it? I didn't...
That's so weird.
It might be, I don't know, it's because maybe it's because I'm a barbarian and my intelligence and my wisdom's quite low.
Yeah.
Well, my intelligence is quite low, believe it or not. My wisdom is sort of like, I'm quite a spiritual being, but I'm actually not that intelligent.
No, I'm not that intelligent either. My wisdom's the highest one I have.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right, Ma, between us, maybe it's a shame. We should have someone more intelligent. If only we had... Do you remember that time when Kit played with us?
He was a ranger, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He was a ranger, that's right. And he was really intelligent.
He was you were fast and you were intelligent.
That would be helpful right now.
He was really fast. He was like
You know what?
quick-witted.
As you say that, you all hear a familiar voice. You hear the voice of Oslick Kenelm.
What?
No!
Yeah, the tattooed, painted-faced rogue
Oslick.
who you'd met in that tavern, who'd helped you fight off the trolls
Regenerating.
and the goblins, and you hear his voice echoing down the tunnel behind you saying, are you in there? Are you in there?
Someone got to warn him about the trap.
Watch out!
Watch out for the trap!
Oslick!
This was an Apocalypse Players production. For more information, please visit apocalypseplayers.com.